Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire is out in theaters, film number 5 in the ongoing Monsterverse, which consists of the 2014 Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, and Godzilla vs. Kong. This was directed by Adam Wingard, who also made the previous film in the franchise, Godzilla vs. Kong. And it stars Rebecca Hall, Brian Tyree Henry, and Dan Stevens. So, after the events of the previous movie, Kong now lives in the Hollow Earth and ventures deeper and deeper into it, trying to find other big apes like himself. He eventually does find them, but let's just say they are less than friendly and pose danger to the surface world as well. Fortunately, Godzilla, who remains on the surface, is currently running around the planet, sort of speedrunning the other Titans, powering up like a Super Saiyan to become pink and be able to kick more ass when he inevitably teams up with Kong for the big brawl. So let me just say that in terms of franchise direction, this Monsterverse has pretty much gone the way of Fast and Furious. The first Godzilla film has been fairly grounded and serious, as much as can be said for a kaiju film. And then it just got progressively more silly. Still, King of the Monsters had moments of genuine terror and sort of awe at these big titans causing so much widespread destruction. By now, all the terror and sort of horror at them is gone, and Godzilla x Kong fully taps into the old Japanese Godzilla movie nonsense, being unapologetically silly, light-hearted, and essentially just a high-budget movie version of a kid playing around with his action figures. And you know what? I can respect that. And I'm happy that just within the last 6 months we got this and Godzilla Minus One. And so you want a serious, mature drama about PTSD, survivor's guilt, terrors of war and nuclear destruction? There you go, Minus One is perfect. You want dumb, mindless action? The New Empire has got you covered. I think the action is insane in the best way possible. There's a scene of Godzilla executing an Olympic swimmer jump from Gibraltar straight into the ocean. There's a scene of Kong beating up other apes with a child ape, swinging him around like a club. There's a scene of monsters fighting in zero gravity. There's Godzilla crashing King Kong through one of the Giza pyramids. It's absolute madness, and I loved it. I also loved a couple other things. I loved the unapologetic color palette, which drowns the film in neon pink for no other reason than the fact that the director just thought it looked cool. Godzilla is pink, underground crystals are pink, super strong nuclear energy from Tiamat is pink, the human flying ship's engine fires are pink. Why? Who gives a shit? I love that the human characters have finally been mostly relegated to being exposition vehicles. Yes, there is still some drama with them, and yes, it's still awful, but for the most part it takes a backseat, which is something I've been advocating for the past 2 or 3 movies. And I have to say, I laughed so much at the scene where a mute underground lady waves her magic arms around for about 2 seconds, and Brian Tyree Henry immediately explains that she is going to make 2 opposing pyramids touch, which will temporarily disable gravity around them, but only for a couple of minutes. It's so utterly stupid. I love it. Dan Stevens is having a blast being a straight up 1980s cool guy / comic relief. Now, there's some things that I didn't like as much. I think there are significant pacing issues where the first half of the film just drags forever, and until it gets to the third act, the movie is kind of boring and directionless. Kong is doing something, Godzilla is doing something else, humans are doing something, but on the whole, it just feels like waiting for the big action set piece. And to be fair, when the final act comes rolling, it is glorious, but I think a good 20 minutes could have been shaved from the first half without any negative impact. Even just remove the podcaster guy completely from the film, because he has literally no impact on the plot. His entire story goes like this. He's a wacky conspiracy podcaster. One of the head scientists from Monarch, which is this organization that takes care of monsters and cover-ups, etc., reaches out to him so that he can look at 2 identical pictures and confirm they are identical, like that meme from The Office. Then he insists on going into the Hollow Earth with the rest of the squad, and for some strange reason they agree. And then he proceeds to do nothing for the entire film except, be comic relief slightly and do some exposition and kind of look in horror at the Titans. It's ridiculous. Also, there are other things in the script which are baffling. Like, how come there's another Hollow Earth beneath the Hollow Earth? Is the world just a never-ending stack of subterranean realms? How come Godzilla knows he has to prepare for a fight, but then is seemingly surprised when Kong comes to get him? Why does the deaf girl have this entire subplot introduced about her not feeling a part of any community, and then when she finds her people, she immediately ditches them? Also, one of my big concerns, why is the widespread destruction of surface cities no longer a big deal or any deal whatsoever? I mean, in this movie alone, Godzilla destroys Rome, destroys a French nuclear plant, destroys Gibraltar, Cairo and the pyramids, and then in the final fight they all destroy the entire city of Rio de Janeiro. But it's fine, because hey, they saved us from the bad monsters. What? I mean, millions are dead, what the hell is this? Anyway though, you gotta treat it for what it is, which is silly, dumb action flick. It's not meant to be taken seriously, it doesn't take itself seriously, it's a 12-year-old kid's fantasy, and as that, it manages to work. I love the third act, I like the stupidity, I just wish the pacing was better in the first half. As it is, it falls short of me calling it a genuinely good movie, but is it decent and entertaining? Hell yes.